Two, one, boom. We are
And we're live.
live. Peace, 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 y'all. We back again with the homie Monty, my biggest supporter. Yeah, how you feeling, man? It's been about 4 months since our convo.
Oh, 4 months?
Mm-hmm. It's been about 4 months.
Long
Time
time.
flies. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure where to start with this. I know you want to talk about slights and spiritual lifestyle and music.
Yeah. You can start. You can start with where we're at now, and then I kind of just go backwards. That probably is best. I know right now I'm in a space where I'm focusing on writing heavy. One of my favorite poets is Maya Angelou. She's actually my favorite poet, and that inspiration started a few months ago, and kind of just a journey back and forth, just spiritually where I want to be, mentally where I want to be, and it's taking its journey, and I'm happy where I'm at. Not every day is super fun and happy, but though even those days are teaching me lessons. This is where I'm at now. Like the writing stage, the writer in me is crying out. So that's where I'm at now. Yeah,
So
where are you
I
at?
felt like it was coming too, since you were always posting the film.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think some form of writing is bound to happen once you start doing it.
Facts. And I don't know why. For some reason, I avoided it for so long.
I'm surprised too.
But yeah, because you
Like you
know,
wrote a book.
right? That's what I'm saying. Like that was like the origin of it. Like me becoming Clarkson for the first time was with the writing. But like most things, you lose sight of it, and you got to come back to it and remind yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally what I've been going through like the past 4 months.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Talk about it. What you need to remind yourself of.
Just I just need to realize I love doing what I love to do. I just need to pursue it. Just risk taking wise, it's not at its best, but it's been improving a lot.
Mm. What are some mental blocks that you go through then? Like, what does your mind be telling you when you try to do stuff? 'Cause I know for me, I have all the ideas, but it's like there's certain like walls to get in the way mentally that I have to kind of overcome. So, what is that like for you? What are some challenges?
Just kind of me not realizing I still figuring out my identity with certain things.
Mm,
Yeah. So like, oh, this is where the other goes up. Okay, so for example, I left Christianity at like 16, 17 years old.
okay.
But I've recently, for some reason, recently I've been around a whole bunch of Christians recently. I've just been talking to them like almost every week. One person in particular is a Bible study teacher I've been talking to for a while,
Mm,
for the past years and years.
mm, interesting.
Um, yeah, and this was like the second, third Bible study teacher I've talked to.
Mm. So okay. So you say that's a challenge you're going through right now, like identity. Interesting. It's funny. I know
Yeah,
from my experience, anytime you try and do something drastic in your life, the universe finds a way to test you to see if that's really who you are. So they'll
right.
send things your way. You know, it's interesting. You said you departed from that ideology, but then now you're around a bunch of Christians. That's ironic, almost.
Right.
It's almost ironic. It's like it's a test.
And
See
then
that.
there's
Mm.
right. And here's the other thing too. Like it's rare cases where I've actually been around people who are not um in the Abrahamic ideologies
Mm.
too. Like the best example is Buddhists.
Really? Yeah.
I met a Buddhist in real life for the first time. Like thinking. last spring.
Why? See, that's something I noticed about you too from day one. You're really into religion and psychology and theology. What got you into all that? Like, what got you into stuff? Because that's like deep esoteric things that most people don't even want to mess with because it's just too mind jogging. What
Yeah,
got you into that rabbit hole?
my honestly, my parents.
Mm,
If I had to give that number one answer, that's my parents.
yeah.
Yes, and my dad, yeah, is a theologist. Theology,
Really?
yes, like I've been told he studies everything. Like he studied Taoism, basically all the religious things. I know I'm upselling you, but like he studied a lot of stuff. And I was like,
Mm, interesting. So is that the lane you want to take for yourself, or you say you still finding yourself, but where are you at now? What's the glimpse that your
well,
mind is
so
telling
far,
you you want to go?
yeah. So here's what I I'm not. I don't really have a category yet, but I don't want certain things to be my only personality. I think that's what
Mm,
the whole problem was. Is there's a group for I'm only seeing I'm only showing like one side of only one type of personality that
right.
so it's kind of the respect is it's not not usually I'm not going to be having a lot of conversation with them. I really talk to anybody too.
Mm, yeah.
There's not a lot of attractions when it comes to just me just showing that one personality.
Mm. Yeah. I've found that the more people you talk to, like the more social circles you're around, whether you're an introvert
Yeah,
or extrovert, that's the best way to learn yourself. Because
right.
it's like throwing yourself in the fire. People are gonna ask, people are gonna be rude, people are gonna be disrespectful. Some people are just curious, but like those are the real tests in life.
Exactly.
Be around people, you know. They say like you're supposed to cultivate when you're by yourself, and then you express that when you're outside, and you take what you learn and then go back inside and cultivate it. It's like an endless loop. I'm working on perfecting my loop because I think I'm lacking in both areas, like most people are. But like I'm good in social circles. I'm pretty great, but I know where the cap is. I know when it's like, damn, I can't go any further, even when I want to. Whether it be my creative world, socially, like I want to break a creative ceiling, I can't go further because of certain work I haven't done on the alone time. In the self. Like I'm not around people. I have to cultivate that world to a certain level to be able to express it in the outside world. So it's like there's always that balance. If either one of those get unbalanced, then the other one suffers. If you're inside too much and you don't talk to nobody, then you're gonna have a not too great of a social world. Because
Yeah, that's my problem. Too much
right.
confidence.
Okay, yeah. So you gotta get out of your comfort zone. You gotta kind of force yourself into social environments. You
Yeah,
know.
that's what I've been doing for the past month.
Oh yeah,
It's
what you
worked
been? What you be doing? Where you be going? It's like events and
out.
stuff.
I've actually talked to more of my college people.
Mm,
Most of everybody you see I'm around is college people.
nice. That's cool. Breaking out of that bubble. Yeah.
I'm kind of researching back to my older uh, interactions and associates as well when it comes to the church and even just people who are like very far away from.
Mm, interesting. How's your physical circle though? Like as far as are you building any newer friendships in your area? 'Cause online is one thing as a social circle, but you also want to have a community you go to. That's important too.
Yes, physical. Yeah, this is a lot more physical than online so far. Because
Okay.
every person that I'm talking to online, I started seeing them physically, having like physical interactions.
Dope. Cool. That's dope.
We'll start.
Yeah, I know we talked earlier about the whole thing I'm trying to do with this online thing, and I want to make it into a physical thing eventually. But I want to make an online writing group, writings like a little club for people to come to, read their poetry or their screenplays or the movie scripts all together to kind of collaborate. Bounce off
Okay.
ideas.
Yeah, 'cause I was wondering, if like, is this like a? I was wondering if this was like a free writing. Right.
Yeah. So the Discord I invited you to, that's pretty much the group, the final draft.
Yeah, which I'm in.
Yeah, you
I
got
got.
them there now. I gotta bring some more people in.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm excited for it, honestly.
Yeah, this is cause me personally, I do a lot of stuff, but I feel like with this script, I've been like stale. I haven't really been writing much as I want to, you know. And so I think if I put myself in that group environment, I'll get it done like that. Sometimes you gotta trick your brain to get things done. So just being around more creative people, creative spaces, more writers. That's really my goal, is to be around as many writers as possible to influence me. You know, um, that's really where I'm at. So you said where you're at is finding identity. Where are you at creatively though, right now?
Creatively,
Hmm.
man, music class. I'm finding out a lot of the songs that I'm doing for different genres.
You're planning out
I,
songs for different genres.
yes, like that's been the most funnest time discovering myself. That's the funnest part.
Like playlist type stuff.
Yes, yes.
Ah, nice. Okay, okay. You've been doing it in your drawings and whatnot.
Not really. I haven't really focused on those drawings much. It was more of like writing a journal.
Writing a journal. Yeah, you gotta show
Like,
me some of your new poetry. That's
oh
what I
yeah,
want to
I
see.
guess I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna send to you. I forgot to send this to you.
Okay. Yeah, let me see some stuff. Before we get to that, I wanted to actually play this video for us and the viewers watching.
Sure.
Um, if anybody wondering who Maya Angelou was, kind of the vibe I'm trying to learn from. This is one of her greatest poems. It's called "We Wear the Mask," and I'm gonna play it for y'all. I want you to know. I want to know what you think too, Montel.
Absolutely.
I know. I want to know what you think. Okay. Bye.
I have written a poem for a woman who rides a bus in New York City. She's a maid. She has 2 shopping bags. When the bus stops abruptly, she laughs. If the bus stops slowly, she laughs. If the bus picks up someone, she laughs. If the bus misses someone, she... So I watched her for about 9 months. I thought, Now, if you don't know black features, you may think she's laughing. But she wasn't laughing. She was simply extending her lips and making a sound. I said, oh, I see. That's that survival apparatus. Now, let me write about that to honor this woman who helps us to survive. By her very survival, Miss Rosie, through your destruction, I stand up. So I used the poem with Mr. Paul Laurence Dunbar's poem, Masks, and my own poem for old black men. Mr. Dunbar wrote Masks in 1892. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It shades our cheeks and hides our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding heart, we smile and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh my God, our tears to thee from tortured souls arise. And we sing, Hey, baby, bye. We sing. Hey, oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet, and long the mile. But let the world think otherwise. We wear the mask. When I think about myself, I almost laugh myself to death. My life has been one great big joke, a dance that's walked, a song was spoke. I laugh so hard, I almost choke when I think about myself. 70 years in these folks' world. The child I works for calls me girl. I say, yes, ma'am, for working's sake. I'm too proud to bend and too poor to break. So I laugh until my stomach ache when I think about myself. My folks can make me split my side. I laugh so hard, I nearly died. The tales they tell sound just like lying. They grow the fruit, but eat the rind. I laugh until I start to cry when I think about myself and my folks and the little children. My fathers sit on benches. Their flesh count every plank. The slats leave dents of darkness deep in their withered flank, and they nod like broken candles, all waxed and burnt profound. They say, but sugar, it was our submission that made your world go round. There in those pleated faces, I see the auction block, the chains and slavery's coffles, the whip and lash and stock. My father's speaking voices that shred my fact and sound. They say, but sugar, it was our submission, and that made your world go round. They laughed to shield their crying. They shuffled through their dreams. They stepped and fetched a country and wrote the blues in screams. I understand their meaning. It could and did derive from living on the ledge of death. They kept my race alive by wearing the mask.
Big old blast for this one.
That yeah, just gotta give it up after that. Like what? What? Rest in power to one of the greatest poets. Man, when I heard that, I'm like, wow. Not only do I resonate with the mass like most black men do. Like, man.
It was actually heartwarming. It was very wholesome to see her, like, in some movies too.
Yeah, like when I really started going down the rabbit hole, I saw her in The Roots. I saw her in Boondocks. I saw her in Moesha. She is embedded in culture, as she should be. I wish we had more of her archetype in the world.
Yeah. I was gonna say, in the times that she was going through it and everything, like she was bound. It was kind of bound to happen. Like she had to be into the stuff to even do any of what she's doing, what she did.
Right. Yeah.
It was but it's super beautiful.
Right. When she was talking about like the smiling and how we use that to cover up so much, I'm like, damn, I didn't even realize I do that, but I do that sometimes. Like when someone will make a joke, I'll smile, but then when something else happens to me that isn't so favorable, I'll also smile. People are like, why are you smiling? Like, damn, it's like at this point, it's a subconscious thing. I don't consciously smile for a certain day. It just happens automatically. And the way she explained it, it's like a coping mechanism to move forward to the next day. Yeah. It's a coping mechanism. You got to get through the day. You know, all kinds of stuff happens to us, but we got to push through it. It's unfortunate. That's why I respect people like Eric Bell so much, because he does touch on those topics that most black men just cover over just to move on to the next thing. We don't ever like break down the things we actually going through and talk about them. We just gloss them over, paint it most of the time with a smile or yeah, I'm all right. Keep it moving, you know. It's I highly respect him for doing
I
it.
do appreciate that he does make posts about it too, as well. Like he's been making like short videos, even when he's not streaming. He does make posts like short videos.
Yeah, and it's so strange for someone like him because he talks about how he's an introvert. He not really for the social medias, but he realizes like his calling and his importance to the community, so he still does it anyway. That's what I respect about him. You know, if it was up to him, he'd be in the house.
Yeah, I appreciate that he does do that because here's the thing: a lot of good ideas, a lot of the best ideas, for the most part, usually come from introverts.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Kendrick is an introvert.
Right.
Yeah. Look at his
That's
ideas.
man making it's
Man, that's facts. That's another thing I want to talk about though. Like creation. Because I feel like I saw a post this morning and it was like the reason why you're stressed out as an artist is because you consume more than you create. I was like, ooh, that was like a blow to the gut because it's facts. Sometimes we get caught in doom scrolling, watching videos, even under the guides of studying. Sometimes it gets unbalanced, like I talked about earlier. When you consume more than you create, it gives you this weird feeling in your stomach. It's like, damn, not doing enough. Even when you're doing things like looking up things, studying, watching stuff, and it's like you still feel like you're not doing enough because you gotta offload that excess energy if you wanted to create. You gotta create. You know, that's what balances it out. So I'm kind of in that rut right now where I haven't been creating nearly as much as I've been consuming. Like I've consumed 80% of the things and created 20%. You know, so it's like that's a huge imbalance. What about you? What's your ratio?
went to both extremes.
Ah,
I've at one point I consumed very little and produced too much. And then there will be a point where I consume too much and produce little. What I'm struggling right now is just too much consumption and not enough production. So
that's where I'm at as well. That's where I'm at as well. And it's strange because before, like years ago, it was the opposite. It was just create. Not as much consumption. And I think that is how it's always is like as kids when you're just young, you don't care too much about. Um, I don't think consumption is intentional. You just if you're around it, you want it, blah blah blah. Whatever your environment is, you just soak up. But you always want to create stuff. And as you get older, you're like, okay, I kind of want to control my environment. I kind of want to control what I consume, which is good. But then you end up slowing down on what you end up creating because you end up accepting the reality that you're in. Like, oh, the world is like this, society is like this, the mind is like this, but it's like it's only like that because that is what everyone has agreed on based on the structures that the creators created. You know, people don't realize that the creators of the world control what the narrative is, not the consumers. The consumers accept it and live within that. But the creators control the narrative. You know, the artists of the world, the revolutionaries of the world, the governments of the world, all of those creators, whether they're good or bad, they control the narrative of what the world is, you know. And so I'm trying to tap into my creator mode more because I can change the narrative based on my creations, you know. If I don't like it, I can change it. So it's kind of where I'm going to be at. Also, I want to talk about my project, Planet Clockson. I'm sure you've seen it. Planet Clockson is a series, but I think I just had an idea today. I think I want to start it off as a short film, or start it off as a short film as like a template to a greater project. You know, like a little teaser, taste tester, 10-minute type thing, so people could
See,
digest
that's not bad.
it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. See the idea first.
Because honestly, using from what I've seen, that it's actually the best way to go. Because
Right.
once you start doing, short films, like you can be able to like instantly get into it.
Yeah, and get proper funding if I'm trying to go super big with it or not. You know.
Yeah,
So
like even with like TV shows, there's like TV series that decide, hey, let's just make a movie about this, and it works for the most part. For the most part.
yeah. I think I was watching a clip about Boondocks not too long ago, and it was an episode that I had never seen before. I'm like, wait a minute, what? I watched all the episodes of Boondocks. How come I never see this one? It's because it was an unreleased pilot episode as a test to see if the networks would fund it. So the animation wasn't the greatest. It was like an unreleased episode for like the companies to see, okay, this is the concept for the show Boondocks. And then after that, it got greenlit. Then the real first episode came out. You know, I'm like, wow. So most people don't show that behind the scenes type stuff. So before the Boondocks came out, there was a little quick synopsis type episode of the Boondocks, so people could see the vibe. You know, so I think I want to do that for Planet Clockson. Make a little short, sweet type thing. You know, that's where I'm at with. So I'm gonna write a little 10-minute script and start off with that, and also the music too. I ain't forgot about the music. You be like, where the music at? I'm still doing the music too.
Yeah, I can see you writing too. Like I can see the film side. I resonate with the film,
Yeah.
and then voice acting. I don't know why that popped up in my head when you said that.
Voice acting. People do say I have an interesting voice. I might consider that.
Yes, I love the concept of it. Right?
Yeah. I might consider. I mean, I am acting in Planet Clockson, so that'll be technically like voice acting because I'm acting in it. So it'll be my voice. So
Yeah.
see how that goes.
Have you thought about being a voice actor?
I did think about it a few years ago. My friend was telling me he sent me a website on how to submit to different like voice acting companies and agencies. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But where I'm at in my life now is strange because like coming up, I don't know how deep you are into astrology and like the North Node and South Node concepts. Do you know about those?
Yeah, you should be able to get like it's just people are still like
Huh?
a lot of I don't know how much men are into the astrology, but um women wise, I think you got to get audience.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
only speaking out like that because women have a lot. Women have been like predominantly been exposed to being into with this more than the guys.
For sure. Yeah. Do you know about the North Node, South Node stuff though, or no?
But north south or maybe
Okay, so that's a no. It's all right. So basically, what this based on my research, whatever your South Node is, like whatever sign it's in, it's the reincarnated version of your spirit that was incarnated in this lifetime, early on in your life. So early on in your life, some of your attributes and some of the things you naturally are inclined to do are based off of this sign. And then your north node is the characteristics and mannerisms that you're supposed to go towards as you grow in your life. Like the
sure.
evolved version of you is your north node. The south node is the one. It's like the information in data and ancestral information that you came here with. You know, you automatically have. So basically, I'm saying all that to say, for me, I naturally always was in like the supportive role type guy. I've always been into like technology and the ultimate resource type of guy. You know, like I've always been that super strong supportive role, production, any type of thing like that to like help and facilitate a thing to grow. That's been my thing for the longest time, like the background guy, the ultimate helper, which is dope. But deep down, I always wanted to be the how do I say this? The star in a way, the one who can influence people. I always had these crazy ideas. I'm like, I could tell this person how to say it and say this, but it's like, nah, it ain't gonna work. I can't make people say and feel the way I do. So I gotta be that person. I gotta step in front and risk it and be the person to lead the way and pave the way for others behind me. You can't be a side guy doing that. You can't be a side character in that role. You got to be the leader. And it sounded cool in the beginning, but then I realized how scary it is to be a leader. I'm like, dang. But eventually, I accepted that that's my role in this lifetime, is to be the leader, in my life. And so that's kind of the role I'm going towards. And all that to say, I ended up deciding any type of role or any type of position that doesn't make me feel like I'm in that role, I kind of don't really want to pursue. So with the voice acting thing, I'm like, nah, I don't see myself in that. As cool as it is, I don't see myself doing that.
I mean, you could here's what you can still like voice act yourself and like write.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's like, even with the stuff I'm doing now, like the writing and directing, this is the new level that I've just unlocked. But I know I want to be in front of the cameras for sure. That's the ultimate goal, is in front of the cameras. It's like the ultimate goal is still gonna be spreading my message through music. All these things I'm learning now are just pieces to that puzzle. I gotta stay laser focused on that goal. Anything that comes along is just an extra. 'Cause I have a certain vision I see for myself. Like Cloxton is it's a figure in my mind that I have to get to. And I can't let anything kind of pivot me off of that track. If it's helping, then yeah, I can add on to it. But if it's taking me off that track, I can't do it. Life's too short, man. Life's too short. But it takes time too, though, to like find yourself and find out who you are and who you want to be. And you said earlier, you're kind of finding yourself. Have you ever had like any clues of like where you think you want to go, or you just like the knee deep of like, I'm searching, I haven't found it quite yet?
it's kind of both. From what I've noticed, like I was kind of on a reassurance type of timing. The best thing that worked for me was just reassurance, because there even though I'm very strong in my perspectives, I'm still have the urge to like find something new when it comes to perspectives. My issue was a little bit complicated because I'm really strong with my conclusions, but I like to just research what everybody's talking about, like certain vocabs, words, different connections of books. Like I just bought some books last week about what Christianity based off of. Somebody told me, like, hey, this is based off of these things. And so I actually got those books like last.
Wow, that's good. You question yourself, you question knowledge. That's good. You don't just believe it off front value. That's good. That's a good mindset to have. Most people don't have that.
Yeah, because here's the thing. It's good to be strong in your conclusions, but don't be so strong you're gonna be imbalancing your your learning ways.
I like that. Got to be malleable.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't be too strong in your conclusions so you won't want to learn anything else.
Okay.
But somebody's like, hey, I never did this before, but I know enough to know that this is not true or something like that. And I just didn't really agree with that. You still gotta like make sure you gotta see why it exists. You gotta understand why it exists. Doesn't matter if it's truth or lie. Sometimes just gotta know why it exists.
Makes sense. Have you started sharing your content yet? Like when we talked about last time, making your videos and stuff.
I've actually made some like video presentations for college classes.
What? Oh, okay.
I don't know if that counts. Huh?
Oh, okay. Is it like the ideas that you've had, or just like homework?
Yeah, kind of like it's kind of, but you can kind of sort of ish make on your own. You just gotta be able to have the topics that they want you to talk. Other than that, you can kind of have some type of freedom.
Mm. I'm talking about your ideas, though, your content. Like, have you made any content for yourself that you posted? Just any ideas?
I have. I know what I have that's worth content. I kind of been just trying to see what is worth content.
What's worth content?
Yeah.
I mean, just pick. I would just suggest to pick a topic and just lock onto that topic and see where your mind goes. Like that's how I started. I don't know if you saw this video years back. I think I was 20. I think I was 20. Either 2021, one of those two. I made that video, like the art of frequency. It's like my first real video getting deeper into what I do, like what I learn now. Because I always stayed on like surface level stuff. It was always like video games and fun stuff. It wasn't no deep esoteric topics. And one day I was like, you know what? In my real life, I do all these other things, but on YouTube, I don't show them none of that. So let me just make one video, just like kind of going, showing them what my actual life looks like, what I actually study, what I actually, you know what I'm saying, do. And then after that, it just kind of trailed to the next thing, you know. So you could try something like that.
Right. It's honestly been backwards for me.
Really?
Like I've been exposed to so much education. Very little entertainment. Like the entertainment that I consumed when I was like little. Obviously, it's not like kid shows anymore, but it's actually like nostalgia, more entertainment than anything.
Yeah, I mean, you should start posting that stuff, though. You should start posting the knowledge you've been learning. Because one thing I've noticed, you don't want to regret, and everybody's different, of course. You don't got to be a content creator, but I do suggest you share your journey, even if you don't know it all, because you'll never know it all. I suggest you share your journey of some of the things you've learned, some of the epiphanies you've had. Like share your perspective. You know, we need more Black men sharing their thoughts, positive thoughts, not hating on everybody in the toxic podcast. You know, we need to balance it out. You know,
Toxic podcast.
Exactly. So I would suggest that.
Even get me started on those.
So I mean, if you ever got an idea or something for a series that we could do, and you know, create it, I'll hop on one of these days. You know, I'll pop up as a feature. You know, just let me know.
Yeah, honestly, like it can. Well, honestly, I was actually thought about making like being a content creator. Somebody gave me some advice, like make sure you love doing it because sometimes you're gonna go through it like sick, or sometimes you can be like busy on some other stuff. Like you gotta make sure you love it. Like make sure guidance in your words.
Exactly, and that way you can work on your social skills on outside realms. Because that's honestly how I got good. Well, I had a lot of training when I was young, but like I would get on stereo calls, this app called Stereo. It's just like Clubhouse, and just talk to random people, strike up conversations. And over time, I just got better, you know. So I think you doing something like that, like either whether it be just videos or heck a podcast, you know, it could be whatever you feel like. I think that would really help you.
I would love to see you feature on some channels that I watch personally.
Nah, you got to make it though. No copping out.
Yeah,
you got to make the video.
Oh yeah, no, this is just separate. This is separate.
Okay, okay. You said
Yeah.
you got some
I
channels
already
that you
know
would
that.
love to see me featured on? Cool.
Yes. Oh man. Obviously, Danica Marie and
Uh,
yeah,
that's
we're
funny.
gonna get that out of the way.
Yeah, I actually thought about sending out a message for a Clocks and podcast episode, but I really just kind of put the podcast on hiatus. But that was in the works. I just never did it.
right,
Yeah.
and then let me see. Who else? Some of these are stretches, so forgive me. But
Okay. He said some of them were stretches.
yeah, I know you already met Dr.
Yeah. A few times.
Yeah, we both did, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
I think there might be a very, very interesting conversation.
David Banner. Oh yeah, for sure. That'd be dope.
Yes, let's
David
see.
Banner.
Let's see.
I don't know if I ever. I definitely didn't post it. And I don't even think I talked about it, but I did meet 19 Keys once.
Nice. So let's talk about that.
I was actually gonna save this for one day when we meet again. I was gonna tell him the story, but I'll talk about it now. He pulled up to Leimert Park one day after his LA tour, high level tour. And he was in LA and he came after it was over. But he was in Leimert Park just walking around. I was doing my usual community food giveaway thing, helping out, giving food to people who need it. I just saw him walking around, and actually, he was with a crew. He was with him, his brother, I think Steve, and then Blue Pill and Red Pill. No, it was just Blue Pill though. Red Pill was just Blue Pill. Yeah. So Blue Pill was walking around with him, and then Blue Pill stopped by the Lions Gallery, which is where I go often. It's closed down now, but it was a spot in Leimert Park. It was like an art gallery. You know, I would hang out over there and make art, make music, do all kind of cool stuff. They stopped by there, and Blue Pill started freestyling over a random beat that was playing outside. So people started kind of circling around him. I walked over. I was like, "Oh wow, Blue Pill, peace, brother." He's like, "Yeah, peace." And he just kept freestyling. I just sat there, just listened. You know, I like to soak up knowledge from my elders because he was rapping bars. It was wisdom, you know, crazy bars. I just sat there and I see Steve walk. I'm like, "Oh wow, that dude knows 19 Keys. I know him." Then I see Blue Pill, and all of a sudden I'm just standing there. Someone walks from behind me to stand there and listen to. I turn around, 19 Keys.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, snap. 19.
Miracles happen. Can I say that?
Yeah, miracles.
Yeah, miracle. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was funny because he started rapping too. After that, he started rapping.
He sounds like a rapper.
He said he started freestyle. I was like, "Yo, how did you do that? How you do that on the spot without writing it down and thinking?" He's like, "Man, I'm a god. I can do anything." You could do it too. Start freestyling right now. I'm like, nah, I can't freestyle. I gotta think about it. He's like, nah, man, freestyle. You tell your mind that because you're using your weak mind. You're not using your God mind. Freestyle right now. And so 19 Keys forced me to freestyle on the spot right there. Yeah, it was trash. It was terrible, but he pushed me.
But hey, if it makes you feel any better, I write better than I can.
Yeah. But I always remember that. He pushed me. I was so shocked that he was there. I didn't even ask him to take a picture or nothing. You know, we just chilling there for like 30, 40 minutes. I told him, hey, my name is Adam. So sorry. Love what you're doing. Sorry I couldn't make the tour. He's like, man, you bullshitting. You could have made the tour. You capping. I was like, nah, it's really couldn't make it. I'm sorry. It was funny. We had a fun moment. It was dope though. Good experience. Yeah. I'm sure I'll meet him again. He's the thought leader that our community actually needs. You know, it's a lot of leaders that have risen and fallen because they always let their personal egos or something get in the way of the mission. You know, you're never bigger than the mission. You know, as soon as you think you're bigger than the mission, you're gonna be taken down one way or another by either by yourself or the government. Something's gonna take you down the moment you think you're bigger than the mission. So I gotta give respect and salute to Keys for keeping the mission the most important thing. You know, gotta respect him for that. But yeah, that's that story.
Yep.
That's that
Not
story.
bad.
Yeah. Before we close out, though, any questions you got for me before we close? No, you'll be asking me questions.
I don't really have too much to say other than hey, I enjoyed you know, doing lives with you. I don't mind doing it.
Likewise, brother. Likewise. So next time you gotta pick some topics. You gotta like just do your thing, and I'll be a feature instead of vice versa.
Okay.
You're gonna do a crew
Okay.
this time. Yeah, I'll be a feature. And this could be your start to your content journey. You know, that's how we're gonna do it. You pick some topics you want to cover, and you just start with a thought and don't stop. Don't stop. Keep building on it. You know, use all the knowledge you've accumulated up till now. Just build, do your first official build, and post it.
All right.
You know, and I'll share it. You know.
Yeah, I've actually made some content on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted like a whole bunch of stories and posted a whole bunch of stuff on it.
You posted some videos. I ain't seen no videos.
No, not videos, just
That's what
photos.
I'm saying. Videos. You gotta show me some content, some video. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Photos can be content?
Well, no, photos is not content.
Okay.
Photos is not content. Photos is a notification. Like, oh, okay, nice. No.
Okay.
Yeah. But all right. Till next time, brother. So soon I gotta get over to this meditation place. Oh, and I'll tap in soon. I won't wait. We shouldn't wait 4 months till we do this again. We'll tap in soon for sure.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Thank y'all for tapping in. Any last words?
No, just I enjoyed this.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Peace and love, y'all. Boom.